Hey guys, welcome back to Lily of the Valley Coaching. This is your host, Bernadette. We're going to get into what twin flames are for the people that don't understand their family members, their friends that are going through this journey. This is actually for you guys. This particular episode is for the non twin flames so that they understand us. Okay? With this education, you can have a little more empathy for your friend, your family member, your coworker, your clergy member, whatever it is, so that you can be a better friend, a better sister, a better brother, a better mother, a better father, a better whatever you are in that person's life. Okay? So, what is a twin flame? A twin flame is basically, they say that it's one soul split in two, but honestly, guys, I feel it's your complement, your better half, that has the exact same energetic blueprint that you have. When you vibe with somebody that is exactly like you energetically, it's hard to put that away. I'm going to be interweaving a lot of my own experiences in this as a twin flame so that twin flames that resonate with this, that are listening to this alongside people that are not twin flames, can foster a better, closer relationship so that maybe you'll learn something from us and that you can support that twin flame family member or whoever this person is in your life that you care about, that you see struggling. All right? First and foremost, don't think that we haven't tried everything under the sun to forget this person. Because having them in our periphery, in our energy field, following us everywhere we go because their energy is there, because your energy is just like theirs is just like yours. To me, my synopsis of this is that it's not one soul split in two. The reason why you can't forget this person is because they have the exact same energy as you. It's basically you in the opposite sex body. I mean, to put it in layman's terms, that's the long and the short of it. This is why you can't forget this person, because it's like you're looking at yourself. I'm a woman. My twin flame is a man. When I see him, I see myself. This is me in another body. Same exact energy. Of course, we have to have differences. We can't be exactly the same. We're going to agree on some things and we're going to disagree on some things. I'll give you an example. My twin flame loves pork fried rice. I can't stand it. I like my plain fried rice. I can't stand pork fried rice. I don't like it. One of the few differences between us, but some we do have differences. Like when I met him, he was a Buddhist. I'm a Christian. Have been since I met him. Okay? I have explored other areas of thought, but I always come back to my Christianity. Always. I always do. So I was like, listen, this is what I understand. This is what I know to be the truth. So there's no need to explore outward. Okay, I was an omnist at one point. You guys that have been following me, you know that I have explored a lot of things. I was a universalist at one point, an omnist at one point. Okay, never been an atheist. At every single juncture in my spiritual journey, whether I was exploring other gods and goddesses, I always maintained that there was some force out there looking out for us. Okay? So, twin flames are, according to my definition, not one soul split into two bodies, but your exact energetic counterpart. Okay? Now, what is a soulmate? A soulmate is anybody that is an important part of your life. Your pet could be your soulmate. Your boss could be your soulmate. Your employee could be your soulmate. Your sister, your brother, your mother, your father. Anybody that is important or has an importance in your life is your soulmate. Now, this translates to romantic partners as well. It's usually the person you wind up marrying for a long, long time. You had some kids together. And this is usually the dynamic for most relationships. Then you have karmic relationships. Okay? Now, to call a relationship karmic, on the flip side, you have a opposite twin flame relationship, which we really don't use the word relationship when it comes to twin flame dynamics, because in essence, you guys are already married in the spirit, married in heaven. So you're already considered married in heaven's eyes, okay? So when you meet each other, you're just basically picking up where you left off. This is why twin flames get together so quickly. I'm going to give you another example, personal. When my twin flame and I met, we got engaged very quickly. Very, very, very quickly, okay? Because we just knew. It's like looking into the mirror, okay? And that undeniable magnetic pull towards each other, like being skin to skin is not close enough. That's how close we want to be. Literally, skin to skin with each other, embracing each other as tightly as you can. That's still not close enough. Karmic relationships are basically walking, breathing, living lessons. They are basically the ones that teach you how to either toughen up, how to turn on your spirituality, how to defend yourself, how to discern what gifts you have because you're going to need to use them, or to close out some cycle that you have had with that type of woman. And I'm talking to the twin flame men, the twin flame masculines, okay? Now, the woman twin flame also has her own karmic, okay? It's not like we don't have our own karmics. I've had a couple of karmics, okay? Now, my ex-husband was a soulmate, but he wasn't my... He started off as a soulmate and ended as a karmic. So sometimes each soul can take on two different roles. Sometimes they sign up when they come over here. When they come down here and they incarnate, they take on different roles. Okay? Some roles are just karmic. They just decide to be a karmic the entire time. And there's a level to karmics as well. Not every karmic is evil inherently. Okay? I want to make that distinction. Okay? Because those don't realize that they're karmics. But these are also the ones that are willing to walk away once the relationship has ended and they have that self-respect to move on with their lives. At which point they change from being a karmic to a soulmate. Because that soulmate is there to teach you that lesson. And once you've learned from each other, there's nothing keeping you together and you part ways. Some karmics choose to be karmic the entire time, even after the expiration date has happened, because every one of these karmic relationships has an expiration date. They don't just go on forever. It's just an impossibility. There are certain things in this that are an impossibility there. So if you're worrying that as a twin flame that this man, this divine masculine of yours, is going to be with this person forever and ever, amen, no. It's an impossibility, because then what would be the point of you entering into the equation at all? There would not be a point. You guys would not have met. Again, personal experience. I had met my twin flame when he was broken up with the karmic that he got back with. So there was a lesson that he had to learn from this particular woman. And when they're karmic, they had to be like really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Extreme in their, I guess, for lack of a better word, karmicness. They had to be very extreme. And that extremeness comes into play when they, as the handler, and we're going to be talking about that as well, okay? So this is going to be quite a long episode, so just stick around. A lot of times, the form that the karmic will take is a honeypot. What is a honeypot? A honeypot is the wife, girlfriend, fiance, baby mama, okay? Anybody that is close enough to influence the divine masculine, have babies by the divine masculine, because there's that hybrid thing that I always talk about. They want to mix divine DNA with karmic demonic DNA, and they want to make these hybrids, okay? We'll talk about that later, okay? This might be a 3-parter. I'm hoping it's not going to be, because I kind of want to get everything tackled today. Now, those are the basics for the dynamics here, okay? This person that you meet as a twin flame, you don't realize you're a twin flame when you meet them, okay? A lot of times, what will happen is that two people will meet. They have this undeniable connection, very strong, but yet feels very spiritual. That's the difference between karmic relationships and twin flame connections, okay? We never use the word relationships with twin flames, okay? Because relationships really are for soulmates and for the non-twin flames. They do relationships. We don't do relationships. We do connections, okay? Because it's two halves of a force spiritually. Now, why do twin flames get together? And why is there always a karmic present? Quite simply, in very simple mathematics, twin flames are here to create something, whether that's something spiritual like a ministry or a literal child, which is most of the time that's what it is, okay? And it's always not about, when the karmic comes in, it's not about the twin flames themselves, which the twin flames have their own gifts, okay? For instance, telepathy is one of the gifts that my twin flame and I share, okay? Those combined gifts make a child that supersedes all that. So when they attack twin flames, it's for the attempted separation from the twin flames making this divine child. And sometimes what will happen is that they get these two, they get the karmic and they get the twin flame to make a baby together, not only for that hybrid thing, but so that the surrounding family members can have a stake in that child's gifts and start teaching them the ways of the karmic Jezebel, Athaliah, different entities. Okay? And since the family members usually can't get close enough to the twin flame, divine masculine, they need to send in this honeypot to do that type of job. Has access, if he's a sick person, has access to his medical records, his medicines, how much he takes, when he takes, how many times a week, how many times a day. All of that information. And therefore, access to his very well-being. And they could do work against it. I've seen this happen with my own twin flame. Okay? My twin flame has some ailments, okay? I'm not going to get into the ailments that he has because, I respect him, okay? And I'm not going to put his business out there. But suffice it to say that he had those same issues when I was with him, but they didn't look outwardly present because he was happy. A happy man is a healthy man is a happy man. And it looks like that outwardly on his face, on his body, everything, okay? When a man is being worked on, when a divine masculine is being worked on through black magic, it's going to show up on his face and on his body. Certain ailments are going to manifest as a direct relationship and a result of that karmic relationship, okay? Let me take a break with my water here because I'm getting a little dry here. So enter the honeypot. And the honeypot's job is to get close enough to the masculine to report back to whoever is connected to that karmic. I've seen it happen within my own connection with my divine masculine, okay? He was involved with this woman for many, many years, at least a decade, okay? And a lot of you might be thinking, it's like, Bernie, how could you wait that long? Listen, when you're in love and you love the person and you know that this is true, and you have been literally confirmed that this is your person, especially after so many different ways of trying to purge this person out of your mind, purge this person out of your spirit, they're not going to leave. Personally, I literally went to therapy about this. The only thing that I haven't tried at this point is hypnotizing. If I have to be hypnotized to forget somebody, then obviously I'm not supposed to forget this person. Okay? Because if therapy's not working, right? And prayer, even prayer, I believe if anybody knows anything about me, it's that I believe very, very much in prayer and the power of it. And Christians know the prayer that I'm referring to, that I actually prayed. And still, this man was never able to leave my psyche, my mind, my soul, my heart. The difference between twin flames, love, soulmate, love, karmic relationships. Notice that last one, how it was different, okay? Is that soulmates eventually move on. They may be able to co-parent and everything, but they eventually move on. Karmics don't let go. And it's not because they love the divine masculine. It's because they have a position to play on the chessboard. They have something they need to protect that's not of light and love and divine. They have a stake in this. Think of it as stock, spiritual stock, the spiritual stock market. And they look at the divine masculine as a share in a bigger company. And they will do anything to not get rid of their stock, because that stock pays dividends. That stock, through whatever the divine masculine is supposed to do as far as a destiny that yields blessings that are attached to it, those karmics want to be attached to that. So they may break up before you meet them. They may break up with this divine masculine. But like that Yeba song says, I won't stay, but I'll never leave. Go back to that episode. You'll hear the song and you'll hear the lyrics, what I'm talking about, okay? Now, with this very, very deeply spiritual connection, there are going to be opportunists that try to tarnish the image of people like me, that try to teach people about what twin flames are. We see it in the evangelist circles as well. Look at Kenneth Copeland. That fucker is fucking scary. Ooh, girl. Ooh, he's scary. He scares me something awful. If y'all know who Kenneth Copeland is, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, that fucker is fucking scary. Okay, there's something wrong with that man. There's something deeply, deeply disturbed in that man, if you can call him that. Okay. They walked among us with human skin. Okay? So, much like in the evangelist circles, there are some good evangelists. But evangelists have gotten a bad rap because of the bad apples that mess it up for everybody else. The same theme applies to twin flames. Let's talk a little bit about TFU, Twin Flames Universe. Now, we have all seen, both twin flames and non-twin flames alike, have seen this documentary. And notice, I want you to be on notice that when the devil wants to get people to be ridiculed and mocked with something like twin flames, he's going to push out and make popular the worst piss poor example of our quote unquote representation that he can find. Twin Flames Universe does not speak for us. They do not. We don't know him. We don't claim him. We don't claim them. At all. And this kind of thing happens in many industries, whatever your industry is. There's always going to be some kind of bad example of quote unquote representation that gets pushed out there, especially if this field, this area, this collective has some kind of divine assignment. That's when the devil swoops right in and sends somebody out to make it like they represent us, and they don't. What they do is make everything about money. Our job as true twin flame teachers is to educate, not so much the actual twin flames, because you guys as twin flames already know what I'm telling you is truth. The twin flame teaching is more so for the non-twin flames than it is for the twin flames, because we already know all of this. Preaching to the choir, everything I'm saying, you already know this. But in an attempt to bridge that gap between spiritual and secular, especially when it comes to the theme of true love and divine relationships, twin flames fill that gap. And that's our job, to fill that gap and to be the harbingers of the message of true love. Who's at the center of this? Christ. Always has been, always will be. Because look at what's the word I'm looking for? How the structure is set up. God, husband, wife, children. This is why they go after the divine masculine all the time in these twin flame dynamics, because he's right next to Christ. So if they can get him away from Christ as much as they can and pull him away from Christ, then they, in their mind, destroy the entire plans of the twin flame couple when it comes to bringing children into this world, which will fix a lot that needs to be fixed in this world, especially as far as loving each other as human beings. And they don't want that. They don't want these children here. So they either try to fill up the space with some kind of hybrid, as I had talked about before, or they try to do whatever they can to separate the two from ever making those children. It's never about the people that are currently part of the situation. It's always about what's coming next. This goes deep. How do you differentiate between somebody that's truly teaching about twin flames, karmics, and everything that we need to know about all of the components of this dynamic, triumphs and challenges, the good thing about what happened with those documentaries is that, on the one hand, it showed what an opportunist looks like. And that is what a karmic is. Those people from twin flame universe, to me, that's karmic. That is no twin flame. Okay? This is really venturing into, what's the word I'm looking for? Cult territory. Now, let's talk about that word cult. They like to call twin flames a cult. Just because one couple have tried to tarnish the reputation and tarnish the name of twin flames doesn't mean you can paint us all with the same brush. That's not only spiritual bypassing, that's also bigotry, really. Spiritual bigotry. Because you're using what they look like, what they sound like, how you feel watching them to paint the same, with the same brush, everybody else that is not like them. Do I charge for coaching services? Yes, of course, but you have to want the coaching services in order for me to charge you. I'm not going to sit here and say, in order to find your twin flame or to know if this person is your twin flame, give me a whole bunch of money. No, we're not doing that today. At some point, you should know if this person is your person or not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be following me. You wouldn't be listening to me. You already know that this is your person. I don't have to tell you that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be resonating with my material. Now, which leads to, why do I talk about karmic so damn much? Believe me, I hear your questions in my third eye, guys, okay? All right? I can perceive of your questions, okay? Even the people that, listen to me that don't really know what this is all about, but, it seemed entertaining, so you decided to give a follow, okay? And then, of course, I have my enemies that are most likely following me too. Listen, I don't discriminate. All of y'all can follow me. It's not a problem, okay? Why do I talk about karmic so damn much? Well, if you already went down a path and you saw the next batch of your camp, your collective, coming up the hill, and you knew that they were where the potholes were, where the landmines were, where the booby traps and the bear traps and all of these things were placed, would you, as a decent leader, not tell them where these things were placed? Watch out, turn left, turn right, jump, crouch. Be careful for that bear trap. You would tell them ahead of time so that they don't get hurt. You turn into auntie, uncle, big sister, big brother, no matter what, because you came before them. And you know what the pitfalls are and what to look out for. This is why I talk about karmics so fucking much, because it's the karmics that are trying to separate. This goes really much more deeply than the romantic aspect of this. A lot of people assume that, twin flames are, quote unquote, just desperate and they can't let go and they're obsessed and they're delusional and psychotic and crazy and blah, 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 blah. Everything under the sun, okay? But are we, though? Or are we just souls that are very attuned to love because we're the ones that are supposed to teach people about love? So in order to teach about love, you have to be attuned to love. Your antenna, your radio station has to be clearly tuned in, no static around. Keep turning that knob until you have a crystal clear signal. Now, there are twin flame teachers that don't focus on karmics, and that's their ministry. My ministry is to focus on what the enemy is doing to sort of be a military general, strategist, okay? To let you know what's going on, what their next plan is, what their mode of thinking is, what they intend on doing. Up until now, I've used cards to do this. I really don't need the cards anymore. I have them sitting there. They're like collecting dust. I don't even use them anymore. Okay? I mean, I'm not going to toss them because it's part of my work, but I really don't use them anymore. And at some point in this journey, you don't actually need tools anymore at a point. Of course, I'll use them if you want me to, if that's what you want to see and you're a visual person and you need to see it. I understand. And I'll use them if you want me to, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to be using them. And when you have a coaching session with me, I get deep into what is going on with this karmic so that you will not make any missteps. And you already know about that bear trap that's coming in a couple of steps. So you don't step into that bear trap. So excuse the hell out of me if I talk about karmics too much. Oh, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm supposed to be a watch person. I'm supposed to be a seer. I'm supposed to be all of these things. And part of that is exposing the enemy. If I don't expose them, then I leave you open to his attacks. And then I would not be doing my job. Everybody has a different job. So in closing, guys, what have we covered today? What a twin flame is, what a karmic is, what a soulmate is, what a twin flame connection is, as opposed to a soulmate relationship or a karmic. I don't even know what to name the karmic. Honeypot. Handler situation, okay? Under the guise of a relationship, okay? A marriage, a coupling, situationship. I also covered how even in the most spiritual of spaces, and not just with twin flames, how there can be bad apples that misrepresent us, and how the devil uses them and makes them more popular so that you see more of them and you think that that represents us, and it doesn't. How it happens with evangelism that I use as an example. How, as we saw in that documentary, people like Twin Flames Universe, okay, are focused more on profit and control than helping people find their loves. All I want is 30 minutes of your time, 40 minutes of your time, and then you go out about your day. All I want you to do is listen to my episode. That's all I want you to do. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for any of those things. Always, always, always. If a leader requires you to abandon your family and abandon this and abandon that and, clear out your savings account and all of this, no. Absolutely not. I just want to empower you. And there are still some good ones of us left. If you want any personal suggestions other than me of who you can follow as well, email me and I'll give you some names from YouTube channels and all of that stuff so that you can be on the up and up. Hold on a second, guys. Excuse me. Jeez, I do a lot of talking, I know. I guess that's it, guys. So I hope that I give you something to really digest here, and I will talk to you in the next one. I will be devoting the next episode, either not tomorrow because I have something going on tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, I'll probably make another episode devoted to part 2 of the series of the karmic and why they are a romantic rival. Okay, so I had covered the purpose-driven rival, and I also am going to cover part 2 of that, which is the romantic rival. Okay, stay tuned for that. Give me a follow. Hugs, hugs, kiss, kiss. I love you guys very, very much. Don't be a stranger. Give me a follow. Share this podcast and share with a friend, or share with a family member that needs to understand what you are experiencing, what you're going through, okay? We all need to help each other. We're all part of this together, whether you're twin flame or not. We're all part of this thing called life, and, let's help each other out. It's hard enough for us spiritual people. We need the people that are not on this journey personally, that know what we're going through. We need their help in just being a support, even if they don't understand it. Okay? All right, guys. Talk to you later, and take care of yourselves.